trip just in time for Earth Day. That's tomorrow. Rance?
Create Filicide Awareness Week in his honor. So, Nakessa, thank you for hanging out with us today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Now, for those that don't know, what is filicide?
Filicide is actually when a parent kills their child.
And I was just talking to some of the people here about when we first met. I mean, you're only 25 and you have lived a life many, can't imagine. So that happened. Amari was 3?
Yes, well, he was a month away from turning 3. He was 35 months old.
And so how many years has that been?
It has almost been 6 years, which is sadly the same age as my daughter. She's almost 6.
Yeah, I mean, that's way heavy, and I appreciate you taking some time with us. Now, you authored a book, and then you authored another book. Tell me about those.
So yes, I self-published 2 books. The first is The Act of Filicide, the Amari Barnhill story, which explains filicide and how it happens a lot within the community and the world, actually. It happens all over the place. It happens very much so even throughout history. It's talked about and mentioned in the Bible. It's just very, very common, even in movies, Greek literature, everywhere. And then the second book that was birthed during my grief process, getting married, subsequently now going through a very tumultuous divorce, still raising my daughter who I share from my husband. All of those things that created that for explaining how I did sadly do many bad parts of grief, but now I'm growing through that and learning how to properly channel my grief and be a productive member of society and fight the fight for my son in his absence.
A lot of people, to put it in perspective, to make a connection, Marvin Gaye, he was a victim of filicide because his father shot him. So that's just something people can kind of make a connection to. Now, throughout all of this process in the past 6 years, you've lobbied to create filicide awareness, and you actually just had a proclamation made this week.
Yes, and actually the first one came last year, and so now this is the second year that Florida is recognizing Filicide Awareness Week, and it's the second week of April, because April is Child Abuse Awareness Month, and thankfully Lenny Curry decided that it was very much so needed within the community to bring out awareness, and that he saw fit to again recognize it, and hopefully it will continue.
Well, I know you're going to be putting in a lot of work trying to make connections. I heard you mention that you're working with parents in Texas and all across the country trying to make this a national week. Now, if you at home would like to show support or find out more information, you can connect with Nakessa at her website. It's filicideawareness.info. I'm sure her book.
Getfilicideawareness.info.
Getfilicideawareness.info. Thank you for that. I'm sure you can get her books there as well. But this is a topic that many people can relate to and conversations that need to be had. So thank you for spending some time with us today.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure.
We'll have more River City Live right after this.